Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and good morning to all my class. So today kita akan sambung lah. Okay, gonna continue regardless about the chapter apa yang kita terlepas pandang. Okay, ada chapter 1 tu, Evolutions of IR. So today I'm gonna run that chapter, and then next week we'll discuss about the post-Cold War. Okay, and then the other week tu kita akan buat terus 2 chapter teori tu lah. Okay, so before kita habis semester break tu, kita akan habis chapter 4 terus lah. Okay, so saya dah siapkan video. Maybe next week we gonna start on post-Cold War dengan kita buat separuh chapter teori. Okay, part 1, teori part 1. And then next week we gonna week 6, week 7. So kita akan masukkan 2 benda lah. So one will be the part 2 theory, and then actor in IR. Okay, so kita dah cepat sikit lah kita punya syllabus. Okay, so let's start. Okay, this is the evolution in IR. In this chapter, we actually wanted to let you guys know about what is IR is all about, and then what are the pillars in the IR that were focused by these studies. And then for example, nation states are very important international organizations, and also other groups in IR. It is also important to study on. So regardless by Palmer and Perkin, he says that IR comprises much more than the relationship among nation state, international organization, and also group. It includes a great variety of transnational relationship at various levels above and below to the level of the nation state. Still, the main actor is international community. Okay, so kita nak tengok other scholar. So next scholar, Okay, so next scholar, which is Wright. So he says that IR is about relations between many entities of uncertain sovereignty. For example, dalam IR ni kita ada groups like nation, state, government, people, religions, regions, alliance, confederations, international organization, industrial organization, religious organization, and etc. So it is about relation between entities of uncertain sovereignty. Apa maksud uncertain sovereignty? So dalam negara tu ada sovereignty, ada juga yang uncertain sovereignty juga. So international relation embrace all kind of relations, traversing state boundaries, no matter whether they are an academic, legal, political, or any other character, whether they be private or official, and all human behavior originating on one side of the state boundary and affecting human behavior on the other sides of the boundary. This is mainstay. Okay, dia bagi tahu adalah it is all kind of relationship lah, termasuk ekonomi, politik, legal, and etc. And then Lawson says that in simple and narrower sense, IR is taken to donate the study of relation between state. So IR donate interaction between state-based actor across state boundaries. It means entity utama tu adalah state-based lah, and then yang lain tu juga akan diambil kira juga sebagai satu study dalam relation between state yang selain daripada state. Itu yang kata across state boundaries tu. Okay, so introduction. It is entire population of the world is divided into separate territorial political. It also communities, independent state, which profoundly affect the way people live. So sovereignty, for example, a state characteristic of being politically independent of all state doesn't mean isolated or insulted state. So motivate well and welfare state of their citizen. So apa yang sovereignty ni keabsahan lah ataupun dia panggil kedaulatan sebuah negara ni tidak juga memberi kesan lah. Ada negara yang tidak ada kedaulatan tapi kita tidak juga insult that state kan kita panggil ataupun kita jadikan dia sebagai negara isolation. Cuma ada juga negara yang for example we are not declare as a sovereign state because they actually rob the state from other sovereignty state. For example, Israel lah. Okay, so we don't declare them as a sovereign state because they rob the state from Palestine. So sovereignty should be give to the Palestinian state, not Israel state. So motif juga kita kena tengok lah. Ada juga negara yang miskin, ada juga negara yang kaya. So wealth and welfare of state of their citizen lah. So it depends on the state itself, conditions and how actually state survive in international system. So this is 5 basic social value of state. Ni antara 5 perkara lah. Yang pertama adalah security, freedom, order, justice and welfare. So apa itu security? So people are generally assume dalam sebuah negara ni perlu ada security penting lah. So assume that the state should and will underwrite the value of nation security. So keselamatan negara tu adalah paling utama lah dalam semua benda lah. Okay. So yang kedua adalah freedom. Apa tu freedom? Rakyat tu citizen so ada freedom, kebebasan untuk bersuara, kebebasan untuk melaksanakan kehidupan kan, government and also kerajaan juga melaksanakan undang-undang yang boleh memberi kesan kepada pergerakan ekonomi dalam masa yang sama. It is a progressive change. That's the fundamental value of international relation. And then state have common interest in establishing maintaining international order. So dalam konteks kita juga berbuat baik dan juga kita faham konsep order and justice ni, di mana we are not living in jungle. Kita bukan ada rule of jungle, tetapi dalam konteks sebuah kehidupan walaupun kita dipisahkan melalui sepadan, tetapi dalam masa yang sama we have to protect and also protect. Okay, the stability, the uncertainty, also predictability kan. So apa-apa issues, conflict that occur, so kita ada international body lah yang could actually play their part to overcome the situation. For example, international law lah, we have court of justice, and also kita juga ada diplomatic relations, okay, in other state also. It actually help to build characters or every state in IR. Okay, and also human right framework, civil, political society and also economical. Welfare means kebajikan lah, population, socio-economic welfare. For example, negara ni kebajikan rakyat perlu dijaga, and also people also expect their government to adopt appropriate politics to encourage high employment, low inflation, steady investment, uninterrupted flow of trade and also commerce. So inilah orang kata the well-being, okay, the well-being of the people itself, okay, in the state. Okay, dalam IR kita ada banyak teori lah, and also values. For example, yang paling prominent realism lah, and also liberalism. So realism akan bercakap tentang security, power, politics, conflict and war. And then liberalism will talk about freedom, cooperation, democracy, peace, progress. So other than that, we have international society will talk about order and justice, the shares interest, rules and institution. For example, ICJ lah. And also in terms of welfare, we'll talk in IPE theory. Kita ada banyak theory in terms of IPE that will talk about wealth, poverty and also equality. So in the IR is about role of state, the role of international governmental organization, IGO, and then we have the NGO also, non-governmental organization, and then as well MNCs. So this we will learn on chapter 4, which is sector in IR. Okay, the evolution kita tengoklah daripada Thucydides, History of Polynesian War kan. Ni edition of IR. Thucydides ni lah yang is founding fathers of realism. bila tengok Polynesian War tu antara Sparta dan Athens. Sparta is a military, tentera, elite, and Athens tu orang yang buat Greece lah, orang yang buat asas polisi. So mereka berperang. So kalau ikut secara logiknya memang askar yang menang lah, sebab askar ni akan train everyday semua kan. So dia ada kelengkapan, so dia akan menang lah peperangan tu. So sebab itulah Thucydides, actually Thucydides ni dia menilai dan juga dia view apa yang berlaku di sekelilingnya pada masa itu, and then dia menghasilkan apa yang dia berceritakan balik lah, whatever happened, and then it become a theory of realism lah. So bila dia tengok kat situ, okay, tentera ni kuat, so for example, if bila kuat, dia menang perang, so dia akan menjadi sebuah negara yang kuat lah. So they have to be strong. So it means in realism also same. So you have to be strong, right? Have to be in power. If you have power, then only you can remain in peace in international system. So become macam tu lah. So Kanya Asyastra, Niccolo Machiavelli in The Prince, so all is most the scholars ataupun founding fathers of the realism lah. And then because of the landscape politik berubah lah, landscape dunia juga berubah because of peperangan lah. So the dimensions and also the changes being made by the human because of the war. So World War One happens, World War Two happens. So it actually memberi kesan lah kepada sistem dunia. Okay, sistem dunia tu berubah kan, daripada allies, and then colonialism also ended. So modern IR ni lebih kepada siapa yang sebenarnya berkuasa pada dunia lah. For example, when the World War One finish, so semua melihat bahawasanya Western lah will be prominent. So kita buat League of Nations, Abraham Lincoln diangkat sebagai bapa kepada orang kata peperangan World War One, tetapi benda tu gagal. Okay, benda tu gagal kerana 1939 Hitler lah. Ni adalah 14 point speech of the Woodrow Wilson apabila menang je perang dunia pertama. So dia orang buat kenyataan senjata, maka Woodrow Wilson mengharapkan bahawasanya lepas ni tidak akan ada perang lagi. So there's no more war after this. This will be the last war. But yet, and then because of this 14 point, dalam 14 point ni lah equality semualah. But Woodrow Wilson is a democracy and also liberalism's fathers. And then because of the 14 point, the international system create one of organization which is called the League of Nations. So the League of Nations is actually wanted to become international body that can promote peaceful cooperation among nation state. Okay, but this IR daripada Woodrow Wilson ni gagal because Hitler 1939 started the World War II, and then it began sampailah Jepun masuk ambil alih sampailah the World War II end. Okay, after World War II end, so same, the League of Nations also after the World War II also with Winston Churchill and also their allies feel that they need to create international system same as League of Nations. So itulah yang menjadikan 1945 tu dia orang tubuhkan apa yang dipanggil sebagai United Nations, the United Nation, Pertubuhan Bangsa-Bangsa Bersatu. So starting from there until now, so it remain as an international body that actually try to create peace and also promote peace in international system until now. Although from 1945 until now, a lot of things happened, a lot of chaos happened, and also we are affected war started from 1946 until 1990, which is the Cold War. But still, until now, UN remain as an international body which try to portray as a good organization that try to create world peace lah. Okay, so this is IR discipline. So kalau you tengok IR is not a new subject, it's a history. Dah lama dah. Okay, but in Malaysia we just it's a new subject lah consider because baru mula around 2000 macam tu lah. Then lot kita ada University College of Wales, okay. Kita ada juga dekat Jerusalem, Oxford, London School of Economy, Edinburgh, and also banyak lah. Okay, so this started lah. So 1919 started in College of Wales, and then Jerusalem 1929, Oxford 1930 starting, LSE 1936, Edinburgh 48 until now lah. Okay, so this is a history of evolutions. So first state system in ancient Greece, so lack of institution diplomacy and no international law and organization. So kita tengoklah sikit, this is history lah, classical view. So Roman Empire occupied Middle East and North Africa, and then dia buat quasi international relationship, and also masa zaman Roman Empire ni they invention all the city lah. Okay, so kita tengok masa zaman ancient Greece apa yang dia buat. So Roman Empire, what they do. Okay, so masa zaman Roman Empire lah, ada Crusaders semua tu lah. So they actually Catholic Empire ni based on Rome ni, dia buatlah apa yang masa ni puak paderi lah yang mengetuai yang dalam kerajaan semua kan. So political religious empires, and then no definition territorial with borders, hierarchy, and so king rule lah, kita panggil semi-autonomous lah. Okay, and then Crusaders happen, and then after Crusaders, 100-year war between England and France pada masa tu. Okay, banyaklah macam Napoleon semua tu lah. So freedom was not freedom for the individual rather than ruler and their follower and clients. So justice was responsibility of both political and so religious ruler. So early modern Europe era ni dia lebih kepada religious political authority Christian lah, yang jadi ketua-ketua kat negeri-negeri pun banyak padri lah. And then military power, burdens, and also feudal lah. Okay, so it is a medieval at the modern age, so evolution of sovereign state with all power in hand of the king. So king decide everything lah. King is the head of the state. So it ambitions actually expand their territory and also resulted. So case daripada ni yang menyebabkan lah berlakunya peperangan-peperangan di luar yang later on menghasilkan World War I. Okay. So war sebenarnya become a key in international institution for resolving conflict between sovereign state. Pada masa tu banyak yang peperangan lah, sebab yang orang nak masukkan rural feudal system tu. So barulah start peperangan sampailah terhasilnya 30 years of war, perang 30 tahun yang dalam IR ni is one of the kata starting point lah apabila berlakunya 30 years of war. So ia juga menghasilkan apa yang dipanggil sebagai Westphalia Treaty lah, perjanjian perikatan pertama, dan ini adalah melibatkan hubungan negara yang pertama dalam konteks international relation. Okay, so inilah the Peace of Westphalia, the Treaty of Westphalia. So bila baca lah, kalau you you just can google it and also boleh tengok video banyak lah pasal isu Treaty of Westphalia ni kan. Okay, so after that banyaklah isu, kita ada Treaty Hamburg, lepas tu the German elected forward as their baseline, and then so in September the elector was summoned by the Ferdinand, and then he failed. So Frederick William of Brandenburg especially reject Prague as the basis of any settlement. So tetapi on 1944, so many German prince followed their example of Brandenburg, so they show their displeasure with Ferdinand. So ni zaman kejatuhan raja-raja lah dekat Europe kan. Okay, and then peace negotiation happen. So inilah mulanya kita menghantar diplomats lah. So starting the job of diplomats. Tapi zaman Nabi pun dah ada diplomat kan, banyak. Zaman Nabi pun kita hantar juga banyak diplomat lah. So this is in terms of Europe international relation lah. Okay, so and then continue lah Kalau you just baca, so ni masuk zaman Roman Emperor, and then apa ni, on 1945, okay, the Anglo-Saxon, and also Sweden signed orang kata peace agreement, so menamatkan perkelitahan antara Sweden dengan France ni lah. Okay, and then you just read it lah, okay, benda ni. So ni yang saya nak highlightkan, major attempts to impose power lah. So ada banyak, berapa kali lah major attempt. Zaman medieval juga dah ada. So for example Austria lah, pertama sekali melancarkan 30 Years of War. So dia try lah to attempts. And then French juga made attempt under King Louis. Dan juga terakhir adalah Napoleon lah. So made attempt and it was blocked by Britain, Rusia, Prussia lah. And also Austria. So the second attempt will be made by the German lah, in Adolf Hitler 1939, and was blocked by the United States and also Soviet as well as Britain. So boleh tengoklah berapa ramai orang nak try lah untuk lead the war lah, untuk try lah, nak capture IR ni lah, nak become dominant in international system. So nature of IR before World War I, part of history, law and political theory. Subvision of political science emphasize on political phenomena and at the global level. So interdisciplinary, political science, economy, sociology, psychology, anthropology, medicine, cybernetic communication and others. Okay, so this is Professor Zeman. So he says that the study of international relations extend from the natural science of one end to moral philosophy and others. So this discipline is a bundle of subject viewed from a common angle. Okay, so debate dalam IR ni banyak debate lah daripada dulu sampai sekarang lah. For example, isu yang paling prominent, idealism, realism. Mana yang bagus, idealism ke realism? Until now still being debated. And also second will be the traditional or behaviorism. Macam mana, orthodox ke ataupun lebih kepada now lah, currently orang kata behavioralism lah. So di mana kita nak tengok bagaimana sifat dan juga applied, okay, in the context of international system. And then this is the modern theory, which is the neoliberalism and also neorealism, so which is currently now happening, kan? So ini juga antara juga debate, kan, and also positive and also post-positive alternative. So banyaklah isu-isu yang debate selama IR ni memberi kesan kepada orang kata pencambahan ilmu dalam konteks IR lah. So it's a scope. IR is a dynamic discipline. So initially diplomatic history, foreign, kita akan belajar lah foreign policies of state, international law, international relation. Subject matter of international relation consists of whether knowledge from any source may be assistant in meaning new international problem or understanding old one. So this is from Frederick Stan, and also Goldstein. Also we using this book, okay, Goldstein Project of IR. So apa yang di dalam buku Goldstein ni, dia mengetengahkan isu area which is diplomacy, war, trade, alliance, culture, exchange, participation, international organization. It also includes conflict and also cooperation in relationship among state concerning issues area. So approach of international security, question of war and peace. And it also include IPE, increased concern of economic issues made from IPE, intractability woven into IR, especially with regards of security issue. For example, kata bargaining power, sanctions of economy, embargo, semua-semua itulah terms of IPE lah. Okay, Palmer also subject area, state system, dan ini buku Palmer and Perkins, buku IR jugalah. So Palmer and Perkins, they cover state system, national power, diplomacy, imperialism, balance of power, collective security, IO, IL, regional conflict, regional international interest, nuclear weapon, and also changing in international system. Frankel, more focus on foreign policy and also mutual interaction among state lah. Okay, the rest was same. Jackson also more focus on economic and human environment. The rest was same. John Baylis and Smith, Introduction to International Politics. Buku ni pun bagus. You can, kalau ada rezeki, you boleh beli. Kalau tak ada, tak apa, tak payah. Okay, so but more focus on historical context and also international society. Okay, dalam ni ada juga pasal isu konflik semualah, nationalism, and also more similar to the John Baylis lah. Okay, international. So Lawson also their book more on global environment, epidemic, UN, North South Gap, more on economic and also human. Okay. Okay, this is reference. You can antara reference lah yang ada. Okay, so itu saja untuk chapter kita pada hari ini. So next week saya akan buat pasal apa ni, post Cold War and post Cold War, and another one would be the part 1 theory lah, chapter 3. Okay, so itu saja pada hari ini. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.